me start recording as well. Okay. So what we're going to do today is open Scratch. So once we are on Scratch or once we have opened Scratch, we will start using Scratch. And before we start using Scratch, all we need to do is just understand how the different buttons or how the different blocks work in Scratch. It takes a while in open, and as soon as it is open, we'll start working on it. So Scratch, if I tell you once again what Scratch is about, Scratch is kind of like a language. Okay. So this is a language through which you can explain your computer what do you want from your characters. So I guess that we have already have had a lesson in which we learned about the different areas of Scratch. If we haven't done that, I will just explain all of those areas once again today. Okay. So this is Scratch in front of you, right? So let's first get used to some of the terms or some of the names of different areas that we use in Scratch. After that, it would be easier for us to understand how Scratch works. Okay, so let me go full screen. Yes. So this is Scratch. This is a regular Scratch window. Before you start working on anything, this is how Scratch looks like. And after that, obviously, once you start working on Scratch, it would have its different features that would be visible on different areas. Considering that, first thing that we see on Scratch is this white empty background area. Let me just draw something here so that it's easier for you to identify. Do you see a rectangle on my screen? A black rectangle? Okay. So this area over here that I have marked with the black rectangle right now, this is called the stage. What do we call it?
Stage.
Yes, the stage. So the stage is basically that area where we are going to, uh, where our character is going to do everything that we are doing. Okay. So whatever code you would write, that code is going to be shown here. That how does this code work? That is going to be played here, in other words. And this area here, this small white tall rectangle, thin and tall, this is basically the area where you select your backgrounds or backdrops. Backdrop are used according to the setting of the game. So if you want to play, let's say, a game which is set in a forest, so you would have a forest background in its back. If you want to see a game which is set in space, you would want to have a space background in the back. So it's up to you that what kind of game do you want to make or what kind of animation do you want to make. The background is always set according to your game's setting. Okay, where is your game taking place? The background basically reflects that part of that area. And this area over here that I'm marking now, I basically changed the rectangle color just to make it more clear. This area, do you see it? This area where you currently see one cat and there is a word written below that which says sprite1. So this is the character box. All of the characters that take part in your game, they are shown here. Here you can select the character which you want to apply your code to. So you might be having more than one character in your game, and these characters can have their, you can say, code that you can select from here. You can select, you can have more than one characters that take part in that game of yours, but you can select one character and see what code have you done for that. Currently, we only have one character and we have not done any code. So that is why this area that I'm marking now is empty. Okay, see this area. This one, this area, do you see that this is totally empty? There is nothing in here, right? This is completely empty. This is empty because this is our area where we actually write the code for our characters or what they would do. But currently this is empty. So being empty means that we have not used any code for our character right now. Okay. After that, you see this part here on this side. So there are three tabs that you would see at the moment. First one says code, the other one says costumes, and the third one says sounds. Now look at these names. First one is code. So there are these code blocks separated with different colors. You can pick and choose these blocks according to your needs. And after that, you have this costumes block. It tells you that if your character has more than one alternates or more than one shapes. So these costumes will help you to animate your character. Okay, animate means to move your characters on screen. So you can use the different costumes, and these costumes are basically there so that they can help you um, change the, you can say, they can basically help you to change the mood of your game. You can have them moving just to show that these characters can run, they can walk, they can do a lot of things. So there are different costumes for every character. Some of the times there are no different costumes for a character, but generally there are more than one costumes available, and these costumes would help you to make your character look like that it's moving on screen. I will give you an example of that today also. After that, you see this part which says sounds. So any sound related to your character that you want to have on screen can be seen here. Like for a cat, there is a meow sound that you can see. Otherwise, there are more sounds that you can pick and choose from. Like there are sounds for animals, there are sounds for effects. So there are a lot of
Just because of the rectangle, we can't see what's on your screen because of the four rectangles you made. They're still on the screen.
Sorry, you can't see anything on my screen?
Yes, because of the rectangles.
Okay. So how about now? Can you see it now?
Now I can see.
What about now?
Now it is fine.
It's fine. Okay. So what you can see is there are codes available for your character. And if you go to your backdrop, there is some code available for the backdrops as well. The backgrounds actually can't move, so therefore, there are no motion blocks if you have selected the stage. But there are certain blocks that would work even if you have selected the stage. But if you would select a character, the characters can basically move on screen. So that is why you will get motion characters for motion blocks for a character, but you won't get any motion blocks for a backdrop. When you have selected a backdrop, that means that you can't move your backdrop. You obviously can change that, but you can't move it. So that is why there are no motion blocks for the stage. But if you select a character, you would see that there are a lot of motion blocks that you can pick and choose from. So today we make a very simple animation. That animation is about a cat running on screen. So we'll see that how can we make the cat run on screens. First, we need to get a suitable background. So how do we change a background? That is the first question that we answer in this question. So in order to change the background, currently that you see is there is a background which is totally white color. So if you want to change this backdrop, how can we do that? We could simply do that by going to backdrops and then click here. which says choose a backdrop, and then we can choose a backdrop and use a backdrop that we think would be suitable. So I would suggest that we use this blue sky. So this backdrop we are going to use, and we would like that our cat could move here from this point up till this point. So let's say what we do is that we start making our cat to move. So first what we need to do is we need to mark the starting point of our cat. So after this, after selecting the background, now we are going to the next thing. What if we write these things down? That would be helpful also. So let's open Microsoft Word so that we could write in a few things in there. So first thing is selecting the background. And the task is that we are making a running cat, making a running cat animation. Okay, the first step that we did was select a suitable background. And in my case, I have selected the background to be blue sky. So this blue sky backdrop was available in the library, so I have just selected that. The next thing is take your character to the start point. So let's say that we take our character to the start point. But how do we do that? We do that just by clicking this cat and picking it. So once you click this cat, you are holding this click. Okay, I'm not leaving this click. So I'm just clicking and holding. So if you click and hold and you start moving your mouse, you can bring your characters anywhere you want. So I want this cat to be here when I start. And I want this character to be a little smaller. Currently, I feel that this cat is kind of very big. So I need to make it smaller. So in order to check that where this cat is currently positioned, so this cat is currently at x minus 193 and y minus 118. If I move this cat and pick it up and just place it here, somewhere here, you would see that these values have now changed. So these values would change every time you pick up a cat, pick up this character and just put it anywhere. Its position value is going to change, but we want to fix a position value. We would say that we want to start here. So here the position value is x minus 194 and y minus 121. The simple thing that you can do is just pick your character and place it where you want this character to be when you start your game. And obviously first fix its size. So let's say that we want this character to have size 70% of its original size, which is fine. And now you place it where you want this cat to be when you start. So now you have two things. First, you know what is the size of your character. Second, you know what is the position of your character. To fix your position, what you need to do is just place your character where you want this character to be, like here, and then go to motion blocks and pick up this go to block and just place it outside. So even if your cat goes somewhere else, now when you will press this go to block, it will come back to where this needs to be when you start this animation. The next thing that you do is set the size. So size needs to be 70%. Now size is related to the looks of this cat. So that is why you would find the size block in the looks portion. There is a block which says set size to. So you're going to pick this up, bring it out. And what is the size that we are going to set it to? 70. So you just set it to 70 here. Now it doesn't matter that even if you change this character size here, let's say, if I make it this big, it doesn't matter. And wherever you take it, it doesn't matter. When you will click on the code here, when you will run this code here, it will automatically go to its position where it should be, right? and it would change its size also. Let's say if I change its size to a very big size, still that doesn't matter. Whenever I start running this code, by clicking it, it comes back and changes its position and size automatically. Okay, so two things that we have done so far. First is using go to block, and then is using set size to. Go to block helps you to take your character to a position where you want, and set size to makes your character smaller or larger at a certain point in game. Okay, next thing is that we would want this cat to look like that it's running and going towards this side. So in order to make your character move, all you need to do is ask it to move a certain number of steps. So you can say that move 10 steps. This move 10 steps will make your character move forward, and it would make it move 10 steps. So this is 10 steps. Okay. So let's see that how many steps do we need to take if we want to reach here. So we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. So you need to make your character move 43 steps. So you need to make your character, sorry, move 10 steps and do this thing 43 times. So how can you make your character do the same thing again and again? For this type of things, that if you want one instruction to run again and again, you have a repeat block. Okay, a repeat blocks works again and again and again, and it works for a given number of times. For example, where is the repeat block? That should be the next question. The repeat block is available in controls. So you are going to pick up this repeat 10 times and place it outside this move 10 steps block. This move 10 steps blocks needs to be inside the repeat block. Now you need to repeat this process 43 times. See what happens when you do that. So your character starts from one position and goes to the other side of the screen. But does this cat look like that it is even walking? Does it? Does this cat
No.
look like that it is walking? Okay. So we need to also figure out that how can we make this character look like that it is walking. First, I think that this cat walk is kind of a little fast. So we would practice a good thing for that. That is half this value. So instead of moving 10 steps, it is going to move 5 steps. And when we have made this value half, we are going to make this value double. And what is a double of 43? The double of 43 is 86. So now you would see that this cat would actually be walking a little slower, right? Just in comparison, if I wanted to show you the comparison. So this was 43, 10 times. See, the cat was moving a little fast, but if we use this one, the cat is moving a little slower. That's perfect. Now, what we do is that we make our character look like that it is moving. And in order to do that, what we need to do is, remember, ask this character to change its costumes. If it changes its costumes like that, it would look like that this character is moving. So a costume is basically how this character is going to look. So if we want to change the costumes, we need to look in the looks portion there must be a code for that. So if I go here, I would find out that there are two actually buttons here which could help us. First is switch costume and there is next costume. So switch costume to is a good option, but if you switch to a costume 2, you can't go back to costume 1. So that is why I'm not going to use this one, but I would use this one, which says next costume. So if I, let's say, put this one here and also put this one here as well, just to see that how do they behave. So now first I am going to make my cat run faster using this code. So now does it look like that this cat is running? Right? And if I try this one, so this kind of looks a little odd, but this kind of looks really fun. This one. There is another method that we can make our character feel slower, and that is using wait command. Wait command is also a part of control blocks. So let's say that I feel that this movement is kind of very good. This kind of movement is kind of very good. Just give me a second, please. What I feel is that this code is kind of a little better, but if I could just make it a little slower, because in this one, the cat is moving slow, that's fine. But it looks like it's trying to running very fast. But this one, it looks a little better. The speed is good, but the cat is kind of moving equally fast. So what if I just add some weight here? Waiting for 1 second is kind of very long. We would want to have a smaller wait time. So let's make it smaller by making it wait 0.1 seconds. And you just need to add this code block at the end of your code block inside the repeat block. Now, if I try to run it, you would feel like that it's kind of running fine. How is it? Does it look better now compared to this one? Or even compared to this one? Let's try to do it from the start. See this one and then see this one now. Which one do you feel is better? I think that this is better, but we can make it a little faster if we want. Reduce this time from 0.1 second to another even smaller value, 0.05, let's say. Let it to come back and then start it once again. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So that is it. This is a kind of a animation that I would like you guys to try and make today. And tomorrow we will just try to figure out how can we add more characters in that and start it with the help of events. So currently what we did today was learned about one motion movement block, which is move, and sorry, two motion blocks. First one was go to, the other one was move. And also in looks, we learned about two looks blocks. First is set size and second one is next costume. And we also learned about two control blocks today. First one was repeat and the second one was wait block. So using these 6 blocks only, we made an animation in which our cat can basically move like that. And remember, you could always join them together. Like I can just pick this up and put it at the bottom of this one. Now it would work in one go. Also, if you want that the character should first go to its place, and after that it should start after giving some wait time, so you can add this 1 second wait. So it comes here, stays for 1 second, and then starts moving. Okay. ज़याम आपको समझ आई है बेटे? ज़याम, Zayan, are you getting it? Zayan, Fatima, what do you feel about it?
It's fine. It looks good.
Looks good. Okay.
First, it was looking like it has 4 legs.
Yeah, it looked like it has 4 legs previously, but now when you would run it, it looks fine.
Yes.
A cat actually has 4 legs. You can see its 2 hands at the top also.
Yes, but we don't want 6 legs, 2 legs, 4 legs down and 2 legs up.
Yes.